Welcome students. I Miss Sunita Kharchane from SV Union High School and Junior College. Welcome you all to English Kumar Bharati Standard 10th Unit 1 1.5 Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc by George Bernard Shaw is a play narrating the story of a courageous girl, Joan. Let us learn more about the author George Bernard Shaw. Introduction of the author George Bernard Shaw. George Bernard Shaw, 1856 to 1950, was an Irish playwright critic. He wrote more than 60 plays during his lifetime. He was the leading dramatist of his time. He was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1925. Let's get introduced to Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc was a national heroine of France. At the age of 18, Joan of Arc led the French army to victory over English at Orleans. Joan was born in 1412 in a village of Domremy in Lorraine to a tenant farmer. Tenant means a farmer who occupies a rented land from a landlord. That farmer is called as a tenant. To Jacques d'Arc and his wife Isabelle. In early childhood, she learned valuable skills from her mother and became talented. From 1420, Joan started to experience mystical visions. Mystical, she started getting an experience of seeing someone in her dream. And visions means seeing something supernatural appearance of someone in the dream is called as a vision. Mystical visions encouraging her to lead a pious life, and the visions she used to get from the vision she was being encouraged to lead a pious life. Pious means a religious life. The visions became increasingly vivid. So as the years passed, the days passed, the visions started getting vivid. Vivid, that means they started getting more and more powerful. She claimed to hear the voices of Saint Michael and Saint Catherine, designating her as the savior of France and encouraging her to meet the Dauphin, the future Charles VII. So from the vision, the two saints used to speak to her, and those were Saint Michael and Saint Catherine. And as they were appointing her as a savior, savior means a person who saves someone from a danger or from a difficult situation. That person is said to be a savior. So they were appointing her or designating her to save France, and also they were encouraging her to meet the Dauphin. Dauphin is the oldest son of a king of France, the one who would become the king after his father. He is called as a Dauphin, the future Charles VII. So in this picture, in this image, you can see this girl Joan, a young girl. She is getting a vision of the two saints, and the two saints are designating her to become the savior of France. At the age of 18, Joan of Arc led the army to victory over the England at Orleans. So according to the vision she got, at the age of 18, she led the army. She led the army of France, and she also brought victory to France against England. Captured a year later, Joan was burnt at the stake as a heretic by the England and the French collaborators. So after 1 year, after she has taken Orleans on the side of France, she was being captured after 1 year by the two nations, that is England and French collaborators, and she was being burned at a stake. This is a stake. And she was being put a charge, or she was being punished for the reason she was being declared as a heretic. Heretic means a person who has an opinion or belief contrary to the religion. Actually, she was a religious girl, but what charge was being put upon her? That she was a heretic. So two nations captured her. One was England and other one was French. Collaborators, people who cooperates with the enemy. So many of the people of France, they were the cooperators, or they used to help England, the enemy nation. So here, those people who helped England to capture Joan, those were said to be the collaborators. Now let us see the main plot of this play. Joan wants to receive orders from Captain Robert de Baudricourt to go to the Dauphin with his soldiers and free Orleans. So according to the vision what she has got from the two saints, they had ordered her to become a savior of France and to meet the Dauphin. So before she goes to meet the Dauphin, she has to take the orders from Captain Robert de Baudricourt. So the main plot what we are going to study in this chapter is Joan goes to receive the order from Captain Robert de Baudricourt. Characters of this play: Joan, the central character; Bertrand de Poligny, the steward; and Robert de Baudricourt. The war fought between England and France from 1337 to 1453 has come to be known as the 100 Years' War. Joan was a peasant girl born in eastern France who led the French army to several victories during this war. So this war from 1337 to 1453, which was fought between England and France, this was called as a 100 Years' War. And Joan was a peasant girl. Peasant, agricultural laborer of low social status, is called as a peasant. And as I told you, she was been born in a place called as a Domremy, that is Lorraine in eastern France. She led the French army to several victories during this war. So this is a map of the 100 years of war between England and France. The 100 years of war was between England and France. Now you can see the northern part of France, this which is colored in pink over here, these are the places which were under the control and those were being captured by England. And also the southwest part over here of France, these were under the control and that was being captured by England. And this part what you can see over here, that is a purple part, these were being controlled by the Burgundians. Burgundians, those were the East Germanic native people and who were also the supporters of the England. Those were called to be the Burgundians. So these all parts. Here is a place Domremy where the Saint Joan of Arc was born. And here is Orleans. Orleans is a place which were still into the control of France, but England was trying to control it. And England wanted to capture Orleans. And this is Chinon. Chinon is a place where Dauphin of France, he was taking a refugee over here. The play begins at the time when all northern France and some part of southwest were under the foreign control. The foreign control, two nations were there. One was England and another one were the Burgundians. The England controlled some parts and the Burgundians controlled the other. Burgundian East Germanic native, those were the supporters of England in northern France. The city of New Orleans, one of the few remaining French cities, were held by the English. The year is 1429. Captain Robert de Baudricourt, a military officer, is seated at the table. His steward stands facing him. So this is the plot what we are going to study in this chapter. Here is Captain Robert Baudricourt. Here is a steward. Steward is a person who is employed to look after someone. And so the play that starts over here. Baudricourt is sitting over here. Steward is facing over here to him. And at this time, the girl enters to meet Captain Robert de Baudricourt. The conversation starts between Robert, steward, and Joan. In this picture, you can see the girl has entered into the court to meet the captain. Robert, I told you to throw the girl out. Now, Captain Robert de Baudricourt, he is having a clear dislike for this girl. He does not want to meet the girl at all. I told you to throw the girl out. You have 50 armed soldiers and dozens of strong servants to carry out my orders. Are they afraid of her? So Robert Baudricourt does not want to meet this girl. He doesn't want to meet the girl at all. And so he is saying, in fact, so many soldiers, armed soldiers are there, dozens of strong servants are there. You people cannot avoid this girl to come to meet me. How did she come inside? Are they afraid of her? So many people are there. In fact, so many people are there in the court. How did the girl enter inside? Steward, No, sir, we are afraid of you. But she puts courage in us. She really doesn't seem to be afraid of anything. Perhaps you could frighten her, sir. So Stewart, when he sees that the captain Robert E. Baudricourt is very much upset and is very much angry, then Stewart tries to calm him down and he says, no, sir, we are afraid of you. But she puts courage in us. That means Joan is having something, some qualities in her, some miraculous qualities in her, that whenever we meet her, she puts courage in us. That means she motivates us. She really doesn't seem to be afraid of anything. Perhaps you could frighten her, sir. So Stewart is a person who is having all the favor for this girl, and he just keeps on praising the girl. And so he says that she is not afraid of anything, she said. He said to Robert, perhaps, in fact, you could frighten her, sir. Robert grimly. Grimly means seriously. Perhaps. Where is she now? Stewart. Down in the courtyard, sir. Robert goes to the window and asks the soldiers to send the girl up. So somewhere from this line you feel like till now he did not want to meet this girl, but from this line you feel as though now he has changed his mind and he wants to meet the girl. A girl enters. She is well-built, strong country girl of 17 to 18 years. The squire's glare neither frightens her nor stops her. Glare, angry stare. So when she enters inside, the squire means a person of high official rank. So Captain Robert E. Baudricourt, he was a squire. That means he was a person of a very high official rank. So the squire's glare neither frightens her nor stops her. So when she enters over here, the squire is having he started giving her an angry stare. She speaks confidently, but she doesn't mind who is angry with her and who is upset at her. She speaks very confidently. Joan, good morning, Captain Squire. She comes and she wishes him good morning. You are to give me a horse and armor and some soldiers and send me to Dauphin. So she wishes him good morning and immediately she starts demanding him. And what does she demand to him? You are to give me a horse. No request, nothing, just a demand. And what was the demand? She wanted to have a horse, armor. Armor means protective clothing of metal or leather worn in battles by soldiers. And some soldiers and send me to the Dauphin. So these are the 4 demands she is putting in front of him, and that is the horse, the armor, some soldiers and Dauphin. So 4 demands she tells him to fulfill. Robert, this girl is mad. Why didn't you tell me so, you blockhead? Now he is very much upset on hearing the demands of this girl. Robert is shocked to hear. And he thinks the girl is mad and he starts shouting at the people in the court because there were so many strong soldiers and dozens of soldiers were there, even though they were not able to control her to come to meet him. So he got very much upset and he said, this girl is mad. That means how can she come and she start demanding something to me? Why didn't you tell me, you so blockhead? Blockhead means stupid people. Why didn't you tell me this girl is mad? Stewart, sir, do not anger her. Now as I told you, Stewart is having all the favor for this girl because he thinks that she has some miraculous quality in her which motivates everyone. Give her what she wants. But Stewart has all praises for him. He said, don't anger her at all. Whatever she is demanding. Now what her demand were? 4 demands. She wanted to have a horse, the armor, some soldiers and the order to go to meet to Dauphin. Robert, I shall send back to your father with orders to put you under lock and key. But now this person, Robert, is trying to underestimate this girl and also at the same time he is trying to threaten her. And how is he threatening her? He is saying that instead of fulfilling your demand, what I shall do is that I shall send you back to your father and order to put you under lock and key. Put you under lock and key means I will tell him to put you at such a place that you will not escape from that place. Joan, you think you will, Squire, but her confidence level is very high. She says to him, you think you will do that? That means you think that you will put me under lock and key and I will be there over there? But it won't happen that way. You said you would not see me, but here I am. So Joan is so confident. She said, see, before you told me you don't want to meet me. But see now, I am standing over here and you are talking to me. Robert. So you are assuming that I'll give you what you want. So Robert, trying to control his anger, he says, are you assuming? Assuming means, are you taking for granted that whatever your demands are there of, of a horse, armors, soldiers and orders to meet Dauphin, you think, are you taking for granted I will fulfill all the demands? Joan, yes, squire. Again confidence in her speech. A horse will cost 16 francs. Now she is planned with everything. She has come prepared what to speak and what to demand. She said, see, the horse will cost 16 francs. It is a big amount of money. But I can save it on the armor. Now because you are going to spend 16 francs for the horse, I know it's very expensive, high amount. But likewise, I am ready to compromise. That means I don't need beautiful armor made to my measure. She doesn't want to have a very fancy and a beautiful armor to wear. But she said, I can find a soldier's armor that will fit me well enough. So she wants such a type of armor. She said, I don't want beautiful, fancy or expensive one. I just want the armors which will fit me well. I can find a soldier's armor also, and anyone's armor I can wear, but only thing is that they should fit me well. I shall not want many soldiers. And the second demand, you give me soldier, but I am not expecting many soldiers. The Dauphin will give me. See her confidence over here again. She says, I don't want many soldiers. The Dauphin will give me all I need to free Orleans. Now her mission is there to go to meet Dauphin to free Orleans. So she said that I don't want many soldiers. If when I go to meet Dauphin, whatever I need, he will provide me with everything because I am going to free Orleans. So thus student, this is the end of the part 1 of Joan of Arc. In the next video, we will learn more about Joan and her plannings to free Orleans, and also whether she gets the permission from Robert de Baudricourt, that is a squire, to meet the Dauphin. Thank you students.